What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Dr. Umar Johnson, in my honest opinion, is one of the most gifted Pan-African thinkers and speakers of this generation. And of course, he calls himself, or at least he refers to himself as the Prince of Pan-Africanism. The Prince of Pan-Africanism. Now, a lot of us find that to be interesting that somebody would call themselves that, but he speaks about himself in third person. And of course, he is very talented. I cannot take that away from him. But I want to draw your attention to something that I find quite interesting. Look at this photo here. Now, it's Dr. Umar speaks, and when you see it, basically you see this photo of this beautiful lady. She is definitely well endowed. There is Dr. Umar Johnson looking very dusty, and the hands are on her waist and the booty is on the private part. So people don't really take this serious. But the problem is Dr. Umar Johnson wants to be taken seriously. Now let's check out this clip of Dr. Umar Johnson talking about serious things.
Half the black homeless people in Atlanta, if you gave them $50,000, would never be homeless again. That's how sharp they are. That's how good their vision is. Whether it's t-shirts, whether it's real estate, whether it's open up a restaurant, whether it's a bed and breakfast, an Airbnb, put $50,000 in their hand. Give them an entrepreneurial coach who will help them turn that money into the small business idea. They'll never be homeless again. Without economic investment into the oppressed, it's going to be difficult to lift us up. This is what the government does. They'll come to Atlanta. They'll come to Albany. They'll come to Savannah. They'll come to where my people are from, Blakely, Georgia, by the way, and they'll put a whole bunch of poverty programs in your city. We got a program for the drug addicts. We got a program for the opioid users. We got a program for the single mothers. We got a program for the ex-offenders. We got a program for the homeless. You're investing in poverty. The hell with them poverty programs. That's nothing but poverty pimping. Take that money you was going to give to them and put it in their hand for a business.
Let's listen to Dr. Umar Johnson talk about his school.
Public school is deliberately designed to disadvantage the black male child. I need you to understand this. I need you to understand this. I need you to understand, overstand, and understand me. Public school was designed to intentionally disadvantage the black male child. And the reason that public school was intentionally designed to disadvantage the black male child is to guarantee privilege, political and economic, for the white male child. I want to say this again.
Now, Dr. Umar Johnson is not married. I believe he has children by two different women, at least the minimum I know about. But Dr. Umar Johnson has a problem with one thing, and this is why Dr. Umar Johnson fails so often. Dr. Umar Johnson doesn't understand the idea behind leadership. And this is why no one takes Dr. Umar Johnson seriously. He's a person that has some interesting things to say, but that's as far as it goes. Nobody expects anything great out of Dr. Umar Johnson because Dr. Umar Johnson doesn't expect anything great from himself. Look at all of the leaders that Dr. Umar Johnson would like to compare himself to historically. He's done this. I believe he calls himself as one of the legends of the Pan-Africanist world. Let's look at Malcolm X. Could you see Malcolm X, a man who was fighting for the freedom of African Americans in the black world? Could he take a photo like this? Absolutely not. Malcolm X would never take a photo like this, even if he was single, because Malcolm X would never want to give women the impression that you had any sort of opportunity with him. A womanizing spirit would do such a thing. Martin Luther King, although there's evidence, according to some people, he was a womanizer, publicly, you would never see this, even if he was single. Your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson is in Africa. I ain't got no kids. I'm a brother that's in the Pan-African movement. You don't even see me taking photos like this. Why? Because as a man, What does this show the world? This shows that as a 50-year-old or close to it, you're not serious about the Pan-African movement. You're serious about booty. This is why he talks about things like this.
You know, we're going to have a Garvey baby. Lord have mercy, Sister Danielle. You must not have heard me. Sister Danielle wants to have a Garveyite baby with King Kongalicious. Sister Danielle, and she fine too. Look at them eyes. Sister Danielle, listen, baby. We got to build the nation first. If I give up all my testosterone, I won't have no energy to build the nation. I got to build first. Okay, we must build before the back shots. We must handle the business before the back shots. It is consciousness over the cookies. It is politics over the punani. It is revolution over the romance. Sister Danielle wants to have a baby with King Kongalicious. She fine too. Lord have mercy. Might have triplets. But Sister Danielle, stay focused, my sister. Understand, overstand, and understand that the building, the nation building must come before the back shots. I said the nation building must come before the back shots. Brothers and sisters, we must stay focused. We must stay focused.
And largely, when you want to be a leader, you can't go around looking like this. You can't go around acting like this. This is why the black community has Tiffany Henyards. This is why we suffer with Tiffany Henyards in our community. This is why we suffer with the people, LaToya Cantrell. Because as a leader, we want people to do what we say, but not look at what we do. And I'm going to tell you what a lot of black men think about this. Those black men who want to support Umar, it's a turnoff. A black man looks at this and like, oh no, this dude ain't about building. This dude ain't about the community. Because a black man would understand that any black man would never post nothing like this and want to get some respect. A black man can't respect this. And what y'all gonna say, well, y'all jealous, y'all hater. No, what this says is Dr. Umar Johnson wants to sleep with the women that he's trying to support instead of trying to heal the community. See, you signed up to be a leader, but you don't want to put in the work to be a leader. And that's why Dr. Umar Johnson ain't gonna be a Malcolm X. That's why he can't be Dr. King. That's why he can't be Dr. Amos Wilson. That's why he can't be Dr. John Henry Clark. That's why. Because in the watered down conscious movement, which has gotten ghetto over the years, Brother Polite, I will add brothers like Dr. Umar Johnson into that. Because there is no accountability in the community anymore, where you can just do whatever you want. There's only certain sectors in which you can have some level of decency. Nation of Islam is one, but many of the rest of them, this dustiness is there. And Dr. Umar Johnson should be ashamed of himself. Okay? You taking these pictures of these women with these big old booties and putting them up on your Instagram shows you are a clown, brother. That's what it shows. It shows you're selfish and you are not a leader. And with that mentality, we see why FDMG school ain't there yet. It ain't gonna get there because your ass is the one running it. And it's a scammer. He's a scammer. And then you wonder why nobody respect you. Black men gotta understand what leadership is all about. And leaders don't behave like this. You should be committed to your task. You should be committed to the job at hand. You should be committed to leading your people. And if you want to go head on and clap cheeks as a black man, he's not respecting the women that take photos like this. Okay? And I don't even want to say this, but I got some disturbing news one day about Dr. Umar Johnson. I don't want to discuss what's on the video, what I know to be on the video. But let me just say I'm thoroughly embarrassed for this guy if that ever comes out. What this dude is doing with some of his people, it's awful and it's terrible. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with an episode of The Celebrity Junk. Producer for all you, this Curtis Bell. We're out.